Well, baby, I'm on it with a bottle of wine and an old dirt road. Are you ready to go?
You're good.
Outlaw Square is about it'll be 2019 we opened up. So we started with music back in the summer of 2020 here at the square itself. Now, Deadwood as a whole has music events throughout the year. We have Wild Bill Days, which is really big on Main Street in Deadwood. We have Cool Deadwood Nights, which is also really big. And we have different events that take place on Main Street, which we are also a part of, where we have our big screen we put in the middle of the square and everybody we simulcast what's on Main Street. For the square itself, the list goes on and on. In 3 years, the stuff that we have done here has been incredible. And we've created a lot of memories and a lot of experiences with people. Every Wednesday night during the summer months, we do our Wednesday summer concert series, which is a free concert. Regional, local, national acts will play Wednesday night for free. We also have what's called Deadwood Jam, which is coming up here next weekend in September. Previously to that, before the square was built, it was across the street in the depot parking lot where they put up big canvases all around, and it was a paid event. We built the square, we moved it here. It's a free event now. We have the Marshall Tucker Band headlining on Friday night. We have ZZ Ward headlining on Saturday night, just to name a couple artists that are going to be performing that are the headliners.
Very cool.
We've also had, we've started what's called Preacher Smith's Deadwood Redemption Day. It's the third weekend of August. And if you are familiar with Deadwood at all, you would know that Preacher Smith was the first ordained minister in Deadwood back in 1876 when Deadwood was founded. He was found the third weekend of August, 146 years ago, this past August, up on a hill we call Preacher Smith's Hill, where he was murdered.
Oh,
so we do a Christian festival. And last year we started it with Unspoken. This year we had Danny Goki. The goal to make that is to turn that into a 2-day festival down the road. But right now we've been having a great success with that. We do different events where we bring in artists that relate to the event that's going on, like the Days of 76 Rodeo. We brought in Brûlée for a free concert. The majority of the stuff that we do here at Outlaw Square, I'll have 40 shows this year at the end of September, and only 8 of those events are ticketed.
Fantastic. Guys, we're with Bobby Rock today on Live Music Nation podcast. Bobby is with Outlaw Square in Deadwood, South Dakota. He's been giving us a background, a little bit of everything. Bobby, let's talk specifically about you. Where'd you grow up? Where'd you come from?
Well, I'm a North Dakota boy, originally born in Fargo, North Dakota, and left there back in 1984. I actually went to high school and college for printing, believe it or not. Back in the day when they had the Heidelberg presses, and they had all back in the old days, as we say now. We used to cut film and everything. But I got tired of the old ink in the fingers, and I said, I do not want to do this. Spent 2 years of that, and happened to get into club DJing. Kind of found my little passion with music and club DJing, which led to a 30-year radio career.
Very cool. Very cool. So tell us about Outlaw Square. What exactly is it? And I have a lot of questions about this because you've been naming off music venue after music. How did Outlaw Square get started? Tell us exactly what it is.
Well, Outlaw Square, as we call it, Deadwood's gathering place for fun. It's a place for the locals to come and enjoy, and also the visitors. If you're familiar with Deadwood, Deadwood is a destination city. Yeah. Located in the Black Hills. Of course, gold was discovered way back in 1876, which made it really popular. But then where the famous part of it came from was when a gunfighter by the name of Wild Bill Hickok was killed here.
Sure.
So that's why everybody comes to see where Wild Bill was killed and where he's buried. Calamity Jane, Wild Bill, Seth Bullock. If you saw the show Deadwood, that's the real stuff. With the exception of all the exception of the language. It's still kind of rowdy back then, but they're actually buried up on the hill here.
Oh wow, very cool. So tell us how did you get started with the music part of Outlaw Square? And then my second question to that is, where do you get your funding? You're doing all these free concerts. Where's that funding coming from?
Well, the way that the music came about and the way Deadwood was designed, it was designed to hold about 280 events a year. We wanted to make sure there was something for everyone to do, and that's winter, spring, summer, and fall. So it was put together by the state of South Dakota and Deadwood's Historic Preservation. They came together. It's a $4.8 million project. Beautiful stage designed. If you go to the Facebook page or the website, you can see the outlay of how the square is set up. You can kind of see a little bit of it behind me with that map there. But it all came together, and one of the things that Deadwood has is, it's like with any community, a resort tax. When you go there, some of that money is funneled in to help funding. I also do a lot of sponsorship, raising money myself to help sponsor the events that we have here. We have rentals of the square also, which is what we do with our bigger events. Like I was telling you earlier, this year I will have 40 shows, 40 musicians on the stage here at Outlaw Square, and only 8 of those shows are ticketed. Everything else has been free here because it's been built for the public to use, for the locals to use, to come down and enjoy. And it's been a big success. This year was the 3rd year of the facility, and it's really just blown up.
That's fantastic. How did you get to be in charge of all this?
Well, like we said, we started in radio. 30-year radio career led me from around the country and ended up in Rapid City. And I became affiliated and got to know the people that worked here in Deadwood. Some of my best friends I met 30 years ago, or excuse me, 25 years ago, are from this area. And I got to know how the city worked, and I got to know how the chamber works, and I got involved. I volunteered a lot of my time. I'm the MC that does all the stage presentations for all the major events that take place. So I had a pretty good idea of how things worked. And I left for 5 years, moved to Cody, Wyoming, came back and was doing some marketing and sales. And then this project came along, and they said, hey, I was interested in it. I wanted to fill out an application. I went through the process, and they said, hey, we want to talk to you about this more, and went through the whole interview process. And here I am 4 years later, and it's nonstop.
Fantastic. Now, I know they have more than live entertainment in Deadwood throughout the year, but what is it for you that you feel like live entertainment brings to Deadwood and lets people connect?
The biggest thing is you get a different influx of people all the time with each show. Each show reaches the region, not only the region, but I found out with the Gary Allen show we had here, we had people coming from Atlanta and different places to see Gary Allen in Deadwood. Like I said, Deadwood is a destination town. It's a gaming town. It's gambling, but it's also a Four Seasons town, because in the wintertime, the 5th snowiest community in the country is right up the road at Leeds, South Dakota, and we have skiing. We have 320 miles of snowmobile trails. So it's winter, spring, summer, and fall. In the wintertime, we have a venue called the Deadwood Mountain Grand that hosts 2,500 to 3,000 people indoors for music.
Wow.
So it brings people from all over the country to Deadwood, and you get to interact with them. And with the facility that we built here, and with what OEG, Oswald Entertainment, Mark Oswald came in and put together these great shows that we've been able to present to people that are our ticketed events. I mean, when I roll off the list of names of who played on the stage that have been our ticketed events, Shinedown, Hailstorm, Hank Jr., Dwight Yoakam, Jamie Johnson, Dustin Lynch, Sublime with Rome have all performed on our stage here in Deadwood.
Fantastic. Fantastic. That's awesome. All right, Bobby, a couple quick questions for you. Best concert you've ever seen your entire life, who would it be?
Dave Matthews Band at the Gorge, Labor Day weekend, 22 years, 2010 and 2011.
Wow. Back to back. Fantastic.
Yeah, it was a fun weekend. That's
Second
amazing.
question. If you could bring anybody dead or alive to your stage, who would you bring to Outlaw Square?
There's a couple options there.
Okay.
Let's go with the Foo Fighters.
Okay.
And Dave Matthews. And then for fun, I think this would be just crazy fun, is Slipknot.
Oh, very good. Very good. A lot of rock in those jeans, huh?
A lot of rock in those jeans, little, yeah, there's rock. I've grown up with country, but I think that would be a lot of fun with those bands.
No, fantastic. Bobby, what's the best way for people to find out information about Outlaw Square?
Outlawsquare.com or deadwood.com. You can also look at our Facebook page. You can get a good idea of everything we've done. All the pictures are up there. So it's a great place to come and enjoy. to get away and have some fun and enjoy a show here in Deadwood. We're already planning for 2023, and it's going to be another big year for us here in Deadwood.
Fantastic. Bobby, thank you so much for your time. Looking forward to seeing it for ourselves.
All right, Jake, I invite you to come and see us.
We will. Thanks, Bobby.